नाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपञ्चकम्। ॐ सुमुखाय नमः। ॐ एकदन्ताय नमः। ॐ कपिलाय नमः। ॐ गजकर्णकाय नमः। ॐ लम्बोदराय नमः। ॐ विकटाय नमः। ॐ विघ्नराजाय नमः। ॐ धूमकेतवे नमः। ॐ गणाध्यक्षाय नमः। ॐ फालचन्द्राय नमः। ॐ गजाननाय नमः। ॐ वक्रतुण्डाय नमः। ॐ शूर्पकर्णाय नमः। ॐ हेरम्बाय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दपूर्वजाय नमः। ॐ श्रीसिद्धिविनायकस्वामिने नमः। ॐ स्फटिकरजतवर्णं मौक्तकीमक्षमालाम् अमृतकलशविद्यां ज्ञानमुद्रां कराग्रे ददतमुरुगकक्षं चन्द्रचूडं त्रिनेत्रं विद्युतबुधभूषं दक्षिणामूर्तमीडे। ॐ नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ॐ नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ॐ नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ॐ ओंकारसिंह सर्वेन्द्राय नमः। ॐ ओंकारोद्यानकोकिलाय नमः। ॐ ओंकारनीरशुकराजे नमः। ॐ ओंकारारण्यकुञ्जराय नमः। ॐ नगराजसुताजानये नमः। ॐ नगराजनिजालयाय नमः। ॐ नवमाणिक्यमालाढ्याय नमः। ॐ नवचन्द्रशिखामणये नमः। ॐ नन्दितशेषमौनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ नन्दीशादिमदेशिकाय नमः। ॐ मोहानलसुधासाराय नमः। ॐ मोहाम्बुजसुधाकराय नमः। ॐ मोहान्धकारतरणये नमः। ॐ मोहोत्पलनभौमनये नमः। ॐ भक्तज्ञानाब्धिशीतांशवे नमः। ॐ भक्ताज्ञानतृणालयाय नमः। ॐ भक्ताम्बोजसहस्रांशवे नमः। ॐ भक्तकेकिघनाघनाय नमः। ॐ भक्तकैरवराकेन्दवे नमः। ॐ भक्तकोकदिवाकराय नमः। ॐ गजाननादिसम्पूज्याय नमः। ॐ गजचर्मोज्ज्वलाकृतये नमः। ॐ गङ्गाधवलदिव्याङ्गाय नमः। ॐ गङ्गापङ्किलसज्जटाय नमः। ॐ गगनाम्बरसंवीताय नमः। ॐ गगनामूर्तजाय नमः। ॐ वदनाब्जच्युताब्जश्रिये नमः। ॐ वदनेन्दुस्फुरद्दिशाय नमः। ॐ वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः। ॐ वनवीरोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः। ॐ वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः। ॐ वनवीरैकलोलुपाय नमः। ॐ तेजभुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः। ॐ तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः। ॐ विनेयानां तेजप्रदाय नमः। ॐ तेजोमयनिजाश्रमाय नमः। ॐ दमितानङ्गसङ्ग्रामाय नमः। ॐ दरहासजुताङ्गनाय नमः। ॐ दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः। ॐ दरिद्रधनशेवदये नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय नमः। ॐ क्षिप्रैश्वर्यफलप्रदाय नमः। ॐ नानाभरणमुग्धाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ नारीसम्मोहनाकृतये नमः। ॐ नागब्रह्मरसास्वादिने नमः। ॐ नागभूषणभूषिताय नमः। ॐ मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः। ॐ मूर्तामूर्तजगत्वपुषे नमः। ॐ मूलाज्ञानतमोभानवे नमः। ॐ मूर्तिमत्कल्पपादपाय नमः। ॐ तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय नमः। ॐ तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः। ॐ श्रीमेधादक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ श्रीमद् परमहंस श्री दयानंद सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम श्री महेशानंद सद्गुरवे नमः। shall we do meditation? Pratarasmarami hridhi samspuradaatmatattvam satchit sukham paramahamsa gatim turiyam yat swapna jagara sushuptam abaiti nityam tat brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangaha. For a student of Vedanta, the very waking up in the morning should be considered to be very precious. Based on the teaching of Shastra, the very moment of waking up should be seen by the students to be transferring from one type of dreaming to another type of dreaming. The very first few moments of waking up one should just keep lying in the bed not moving, not not even opening the eyes. And following the teachings of the Shastra, reviewing what is happening to you. So the Shastra advises us that observe the truth of the moment. You are switching from either deep sleep or very recently from another dream into a different type of a dream. The first thing that one could do is to simply appreciate that you are a conscious being. You are an ocean of consciousness. Observe it. For this, you don't need anything. You don't need any action. You don't need memory. You don't need any plans. Just observe that you are. You are just a conscious being. Then as you open your eyes, you see a scene in front of you, and this scene in front of you also automatically evokes your personality. You are aware of surroundings, the situation, your awareness of a living person, the memory of your name, your position, your role, all of these come rushing down. At this moment, you have an outline of yourself as a living jiva. In the Shastra, this is also given the name Ahankara. Ahankara means the group of thoughts pertaining to yourself as a jiva. This is who I am. You become aware of your body, your thoughts, consisting of memory, plans, and so on. Following the advice of Shastra, switch into this dream. Be aware of the fact that you are now entering a dream. Previously in the night, you had entered into a dream. The constituents of that dream you can analyze later. The constituents of the dream, any dream, are you, the dream character, interacting with the constituents of the dream. The entire dream is an alternate reality. While you are in the dream, you identified with the dream character. The dream character has relationships, your family, some friends, some strangers, surrounded by the world of the dream. The thoughts of the dream are also ahankara. The dream ahankara, the dream mamakara, my wife, my son, my daughter, my neighbor, and idamkara, those people, that animal. These are the constituents of the alternate reality of the dream. In the same way, when you enter the waking stage, the Shastra advises us to look at the waking stage as switching to another dream. See the truth of it. Here also, you have an ahankara, an identity with a waking person, mamakara, some relationships to some people, some situations, and idankara, just interaction without any relationships. You are dreaming. The conscious being that you are, free of any thoughts, actions, relationships, have entered into this alternate reality called the waking stage. Shastra advises us All the wise people who have understood the truth of the Shastra advise us to consider the first few moments of waking up to be very precious. You have a chance to discriminate during the day when you are engaged in the role playing. This discrimination is lost. It will come with practice. But the best chance to discriminate between you, the conscious being, and the assumption of an alternate reality in the form of a dream, the chance for this discrimination is best done the moment you wake up. This is the meaning of the verse Pratasmarami Hridi samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramaham saturiyam Yat swapna jagrita sushuptam avaiti nityam tad brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangaha. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Gukarastvandhakaro Vai Rukarastvanivartakaha Andhakara Nirodhitvat Gururitya Vidhiyate Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Vedasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. let us chant a few verses whose commentary we will see in a flow of ideas. So I'll come to that in a minute, but let's at least chant. So what I'd like to do is to chant the Karika verses 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then switch over to 28 and 29. Starting with 16, we'll go up to 20, and then switch over to 28 and 29. And I have a reason why I'm doing it. I'll show you that a little bit later on. So let's do that let's just these chant these number 16 through 20 first. Jivam kalpayate purvam tato bhavan prithak vidhan बाह्यानाध्यात्मिकांश्चैव यथा विद्यस्तथा स्मृतिः अनिश्चिता यथा रज्जुः अंधकारे विकल्पिता सर्पधारादिभिः भावैः तद्वत् आत्मा विकल्पितः निश्चितायां यथा रज्ज्वां विकल्पो विनिवर्तते रज्जुरेवेति चाद्वैतम् तद्वत् आत्मविनिश्चयः प्राणादिभिरनन्तैश्च भावैरेतैर्विकल्पितः मायैषा तस्य देवस्य यया सम्मोहितः स्वयं प्राण इति प्राणविदः भूतानीति च तद्विदः गुणा इति गुणविदः तत्त्वानीति च तद्विदः. Then to number 28. सृष्टिरिति सृष्टिविदः लय इति च तद्विदः स्थितिरिति स्थितिविदः सर्वे चेहतु सर्वदा. And the last one, yam bhavam darshayet tam bhavam satu pashyati tam bhavam satu pashyati tam chavati sabhutvasau tad graha samupaiti tam. So these group of verses are conveying a certain concept which are important for us to go to really understand and to see really what is happening. And it is tied up to the it's related to the meditation that we did today also. So it's very similar to that. So starting with verse number 16, let's just look at that. So I think it'd be good if you could, sometime when you're revising, you kind of follow this sequence of verses in your revision. It'd be good to really kind of absorb it, the lessons of these verses. So, starting with 16, it says, Jivam kalpayate purvam tato bhavan pritak vidhan bahyan adhyatmikans cha eva yatha vidyas tatha smriti. When we look at the English translation, we will do that as we go along. So, I, here says the Atma, so means I, the conscious being, projects the jiva first. This is what we did in the meditation. So, you are already a living being. You're already a conscious being. Or you're always a conscious being, whether you're sleeping or you're dreaming or you're waking or when you are dead. You are dead means that your body is dead, you are in between lives. Doesn't matter. You're always a conscious being, unchanging conscious being. Now that conscious being was already there when you woke up. But when you wake up, you start the waking up process by first projecting yourself as a jiva. This we need to see I hope you can do this again and again. It's a very important thing to do. It's a very precious thing in the first few moments. Don't immediately assume, unless somebody needs your help, like, someone is knocking on the door and you say, sorry, I am meditating right now. No, that's okay. But if you have nothing immediately to do, and if you're late for office, wake up a little bit early. And so go over these precious moments and see the discrimination between the Sakshi and the Jiva. This is what it is saying. So follow the sequence of these verses. It's a very important sequence, really. So it says, this is what first happens. The Atma projects the Jiva, I project the Jiva first. And from that point on, everything else gloms onto it. That means that you cannot just say, I'm a jiva, I'm a jiva, I'm a jiva. What does that mean? That means I'm someone with a personality. I have relationships. I'm a wife, husband, etc., etc. And these are outside things that I see. So they all are attracted at the same time. Swami Maheshananji had given this example, which I had shown you before, that this guy was a military commander, and these commanders have these chest full of medals, and there's so many rows and columns there, and I don't know how they even carry the heavy weight of the medals, but they do. So someone asked him, he says, hey, how did you get so many medals? You're only a young man, you are only about 45, 50, you are not that old, and you've gotten all these medals. He says, very simple. Really speaking, you see this big one over here? This is the one I earned. I did some bravery in Kargil or something, and then I got this. Once I got this, then people were very anxious to give me all the ones. So there is a local canteen manager. So he said, sir, please, we are very honored if you can just open this canteen. And here's a medal for you. So this is exactly what happens. Once you assume jivahood, then everything just comes to you right away. So this is exactly what happens. This is number 16. Okay? All right, I'm going to go very quickly so I can completely everything. So now, what happens is that you enter into a dream state by virtue of the fact that you have now projected yourself as a karta, bhokta, ahankara, jiva. And it is not something which you are aware of that this is a role that you are playing. And this is the trick of Maya. So this was a very interesting thing that I really thought about it. And Swami Mahesharanji was the one who really pointed this out. He said, imagine you're dreaming. He says what causes the dreaming is a very powerful force called sleep. And we mischaracterize sleep. We just say, what were you doing? I was sleeping. So he says, okay, yeah, you were sleeping. Both the person who is saying I was sleeping and the person who interprets it doesn't really give much thought to it. It's just something, sleeping, waking. So what? It's a very powerful thing. Why is it so powerful? Because it has the ability to create an alternate reality for you. A very amazing thing. And this is just your own personal sleep. Now comes Maya. And the personal sleep is just one part of the Maya. Imagine the power of Maya. And what the power of Maya does is it doesn't make you immediately feel that this is a dream. This alternate reality, once you project it, you enter into it and it becomes not a role, but this is it. This is the whole thing. And Sri Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita that this is Duratya Maya, is very difficult to cross. It's a very powerful force, but it's a false. Eventually it will frighten you, but if you persist in it, it will say, okay, Baba. I see, I'm sorry. You got me. That'll happen. So you just have to be even more powerful and take the help of Shastra. Take the help of Ishvara, whose power it is. And so Ishvara says, yes, this was a play, this whole thing is nothing but a play, but this is the only way I could project this. I'm happy that you discovered me. And so until then the verse number 17 says, you now are at the mercy of a typical dream. And the typical dream is Anischitaha, means now a phenomena comes in. And the dream phenomena is the same as taking a rope to be a snake or any one of different kinds of things, that this is a mala, this is a garland, or this is a streak, or this is a hose. All those kinds of things come in. And I was telling you that these days, in the evening, I also walk. I have some kind of a goal for walking. And if I haven't finished it, then I turn the lights on in my backyard and I make a round, which is about a minute and 45 seconds. And I try to do 10, 15 of them so that I can walk before I go to sleep. And it's dark. And there's all kinds of stuff there. And the possibility of a snake is also there. There's hoses. There are leaves there. There are streaks of... So when I'm walking, I am not sure what I am walking around. Not sure, because I don't carry a flashlight with me. So this is exactly what happens here. Number 17 is saying, your life becomes uncertain. and what is going to come, what the role of prarabdha will be, all those kinds of things you're not sure of. So you grab on to whatever your assigned fancy is. Assigned fancy means, I'm just using some kind of a fancy word, but what it means is that you have a certain station in life. You were born in a particular place, and so those things are fixed. You're in terms of your gender, the place of birth, your mother, father. But beyond that, there is so much uncertainty. So much uncertainty about what is going to happen, what is my life. All of that is not sure. And amongst that uncertainty, you now grab on to some truth about those things, whatever it is. Those truths will now start with the whole list of prana iti tadvidaha, etc. So now you are in an uncharted waters with lots of things happening, some of which you are sure of, most of it you are not sure of. So this is the word anishchita yatha rajju andhakare vikalpita sarpadharadibhihi bhavaihi tatvat atma vikalpita. So now this is the interesting thing. You have a view of yourself. You have a view of the other things also, but you also have a view of yourself. That view of yourself is influenced by the world around you. Like, for example, same thing happened in a dream. In a dream, you are moving around and something does something to you. And you get upset. This is all happening in the dream. Same thing that is happening here. That you get upset. Why is that person singling me out? I'm going to show to that person, I'm not that bad. So you react to that person. So this is how the world goes. So in all of this, you have a certain view of yourself. Same thing happened in our life also. Your view of yourself is very dependent on what is happening around you. And so all this is going on. And so you have a certain view of yourself. What is your view about yourself? It varies. I'm doing good. No, I'm not doing good. I'm happy. I'm unhappy. I'm frustrated. No, I think I'm okay. All variations on the same thing. So this is exactly what it is, that you don't know exactly who you are. And so you don't know that this is a rope. So as a result, you come up with all kinds of projections about yourself. This is the phenomena. So that's number 17. Then it closes the other side. He says, but once it is known, then all of these things disappear. And we talked about this when we were doing this in detail, that it's a funny thing that you have, so for example, just going back to the rope example, if you're not sure that this is a rope, all kinds of ideas come. As I see this every night when I'm walking around, there's lizards, moving things, and the other thing is I don't want to step over a lizard. The lizard is not dangerous to me, but I'm dangerous to it. And so these lizards are also very, very interesting. They'll stay there like, is he going to come near me or not? So they stay still. When they are lying still, I think it's some kind of a leaf. And just that happened to me a couple of times. At the very last minute, the fellow moves. So it's just uncertain things going on in this this thing. So all I do ideas. But if I had a flashlight and I saw that this is a magnolia leaf, I have a magnolia tree, and the magnolia leaf is very big. It's about this size, just like a lizard, really, a thick lizard. And if I had that, then all those ideas will just disappear into thin air. Wouldn't it? I won't have any, and those are real ideas, by the way. They are not make-believe ideas because of uncertainty. But when the uncertainty is replaced by certainty, all those ideas just completely go. So similarly here he says in number 18, Nishchitayam yatha rajvam. He says, just like if you could see the rope to be exactly as it is, no need for imagining fears, etc., then tadvat atma vinishchayaha, then all those ideas about who I am, what is going to happen to me, will completely get resolved into certainty. The fact that, if I don't know myself as I am, then ideas come in. What is my future? Where am I going to go? And so what is my life? How dependent, how healthy will I be? As this becomes more of a problem as you become older, then you should see all these, social gatherings. So the social gatherings are really about two things now. How many grandchildren do you have? So there is a boasting. I have 2, no, I have 4, I have 6. So this is the new wealth. The new wealth is the grandchildren. It's nice actually. The other thing is diseases, doctors. Have you tried Ayurveda? Yoga? This is what it is all about. So it is all about what is going to happen to me. How old are you? Oh my goodness, really? That's wonderful. And so this is exactly what it happens. And so it is all about the uncertainty about myself, not knowing that there is no reason to speculate. I am as perfect as is possible. So this is what we talked about in the meaning of the Mahavakya in the Tuesday night class, for those of you that are taking Dakshinamurti Stotram. So the third verse is, Yasya eva spuranam sadatmakam asatkalparthakam bhasate sakshaditi vedavachasa yo bodhayatyat ashritan. So the meaning of the Mahavakya Tattvamasi, we went over this in some detail. The meaning of the Mahavakya Tattvamasi is that you are unnecessarily worried about yourself. In fact, you are the same thing as Paramatma. And what do you mean by the same thing as Paramatma? Paramatma, Ishvara, Brahman, whatever you may call it, is perfect. Perfect means what? What do you mean by perfect? It means as perfect as you want to define it, independent of any problems, independent of even time. Time does not touch it. Nothing touches it. This is who you are. You were never born. The consciousness is not made up of things that can be born. It doesn't have any ingredients. It is not made up of parts. Anyway, so we will obviously keep discussing that later. But the point here is that once you understand who you really are, this is the real waking up. Right now, the waking up during the day is a partial waking up. Really, it is switching over from one dream to the other. Not a real, you're just calling it waking up in relationship to the samples that you were given at night time, so that you can, really the dream is given to you so that you can analyze, as we've been doing in the Mandukya. That's why the whole Mandukya Upanishad is so important. And I think I mentioned that to you, that I may repeat it again. We think that the dreams that we have are really insignificant. The real significance is in leading a waking life. So we have this idea that the dream is not important, waking up is important. And Mandukya says, can you believe, would you please believe it is just the other way around? What do you mean by it's the other way around? It's because the dream is very important for you to understand, so that you see the waking state also as a dream state. This is how important the dream state is. This is like the whole dreaming is like a precious stone. Don't just like a child that looks at a diamond and it doesn't make any difference to it, doesn't recognize it. But only a diamond merchant can say, oh my God, this is a very rare piece. Similarly, with respect to the normal dreaming, almost all of us are oblivious of its importance. But Ishvara has given us the strongest hint possible. Strongest. There's nothing better than that as a hint. And that is the analysis of the dream. That's why the Mandukya Upanishad is so important. So, just to close off that topic, that you should begin to see the insignificance of the waking life, except as an understanding that it's a dream. This is why the dream is much more important than the waking state. Anyway, so we'll discuss this and more. So now, having completed this this 4 or 5 verses that talked about what the process of dreaming is, then the question is that during my waking state, I make it worse by believing in things that are not real to be real. So now begins a list of things that people believe in, which are, due to their own shraddha, they feel this is it. This is the way it is. So, in number 19, it begins it summarizes what is going to come by saying, Pranadhibhihi anantaischa bhavai, Pranadhibhihi bhavaihi anantaischa vikalpitaha etaihi vikalpitaha maya esha tasya devasya yaya sammohita swayam. So now you you start to imagine things through the power of Maya by believing that this is important, this is the reality. And here the very first one is prana, which is a very important thing to see. Because you know what it means is the life. Prana means life. When you say, is this alive? Is this person alive? Or is this some small insect alive? That means prana. And why that is important is because the very first mistake we make about ourselves is that my nature is I am alive as a person. Look at this. So when we are saying that, we are saying, oh, isn't that true? Why are you saying that? That I'm alive, isn't that the truth? No. That's not the truth. That is just the partial truth. Why is it a partial truth? Because you're saying that I'm alive is articulating something which means that I can be dead. When the fact of the matter is that is not true. You cannot die. So the life means there is some pulsating. There is some prana. There is some air. This all comes from Hiranyagarbha. And so so prana means movement. If the thing is not moving, most likely it is dead. This is the Sukshma Sharira. So the pulsation means life is also an expression of the Atma, very first expression of the Atma. And so you start believing that I am alive. And so this is a very important thing. I want to be alive. That means I need to be healthy. Now you have a huge number of things that you have to do in order to be keeping to be alive. This is also a belief system, starting with that. That's why it is the very first one, I think. Pranadibhihi. And then a host of things come up. Prana iti pranavidaha, number 20. Bhutani iti cha tadvidaha. Gunaha iti gunavidaha. And we saw a list of things which I'm not going to go through again. Okay? So then it means the belief systems in science, in Vedas, in yajnas, in devatas, because one of the things that happens is that you feel that whatever my life is now, it's not perfect, but I'm told that if I did the following things, my next life will be perfect. So this is a very powerful thing. In fact, all these proselytizing religions are exactly based on this, as we saw. Somebody would just say, aren't you miserable? He says, yes, I'm very miserable. Do you want a way out of that? He says, yes, I would like to. Is it possible? He says, everybody's done it. You just come, and so you just do that. And so here, Swami Maheshananji, I don't have the time to do this. Sometimes we can do this. This is exactly what it is, that if you believe in the following person, This is what is called graha. We'll come to that later on, perhaps it is. So graha means that you hold on to it. Don't let go of it. You'll be taken. So this is the lure of Christianity. You must accept Christ. Without that, it is not possible. But if you do, wondrous things will happen. And so on. So then you start believing in that. What else you do? You have nothing else that you can do. It looks very powerful argument. And so all of this is given up to kala iti kala vidaha, mana iti mano vidaha, buddhi iti chittam iti, panchavinshaka iti eke, shadvimsha iti chapare, etc. Number 27, lokan loka vidaha, shrishti iti shrishti vidaha, laya iti cha tad vidaha. Here I think the kala vidaha is the most interesting thing, just as a amusement, that everything has to be done in the right time. I was telling you, I didn't know this. That's why Maheshanji was pointing out that people who believe in the time muhurta. So the muhurta system is such that everything has to be done in you cannot even die at the wrong time. It's a great papa can't you hold on for a while? The muhurta hasn't started yet. The person says, I can't. I gotta go. So then there is a prayashchita karma. Say, okay, go. Go, it's okay. I know that, but we'll make amends for it. And Swami Maheshananji says, not only the time for eating, but going to the bathroom. Supposing you have to go, you have to hold on. You cannot do that. So this is what is called Kala Vidaha. Yeah. I mean, each one of them is a huge system. They are just, Gaudapada is just sort of summarizing it. Anyway, this is the list. It's a laughing list. That really we spend the whole life in some kind of a belief system. Because it is anishchita. We are not sure what's going on. Really. And so this goes on, etc. Then, and so you remember I was telling you about this word graha. So then he starts to summarize this whole thing in number 29. He says, Yam bhavam darshayet yasya tam bhavam satu pashyati tam cha avati sabhutva asau tad graha samupaiti tam. Let's look at the English translation of that. One sees that thing as the reality, which thing some teacher has shown him, with whatever is shown to that person. Having become one with that, it protects him. Firm conviction in that possesses him.
Which verse is that?
Sorry?
Which verse was that?
29. So now, as we have, I'm just summarizing what we've already done, just making a kind of a trend out of it. 9:11. So there it says that really what calms a person down, because we have so much uncertainty in our life, we don't know what to do, this, that or the other, but finally we hold on to some things. Hold on to means, this is the word grahaha. So grahaha means that we hold on to it. And the holding up process actually gives us certain peace. Because our uncertainty reduces. We're not absolutely sure of it, but as far as possible, we hold on to things, and so exactly this is what happens when you are in a certain company. you're in a certain company. So you may believe in, and Swamiji had just given so many, Swami Maheshanji has given such a long list. So, for example, I feel bad in doing that, Sai Baba. So you go to the Sai Baba Mandir, and I'm told on Thursday there's like 1,000 people. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. You're not alone. Others are also there. Others are also there. I'm sorry to be making fun of this, but Swami Dayanandji's enunciation on this was very funny. So he says, any time you are not certain of something, company is very pleasant because you're not sure of it yourself. And so Swamiji said that any time you are sure, company doesn't matter. Like, for example, he says, have you ever seen a professor of physics from Stanford knock on your door and he says, I want to teach you physics. As many people that understand physics will be good for me. That'll be wonderful. But you go to a party and generally these are nice vegetarians and don't drink, but you are a Scotch drinker. Nobody wants to be alone as a Scotch drinker. So they'll say, have it. There's nothing wrong with this, you know. Just have it. And he's not doing it for others. You know who is he doing it for? I want some company because I am not sure this is the right thing. But if I'm surrounded by 5 or 6 things, then I feel very good. So the moment of uncertainty is enhanced by company. So therefore we glom on to different things. And the more people there are, we feel better and so on and so forth. And you know, the fact of the matter is actually, in Vedanta, you stand alone. Very few people come. Very few people. This is the thing. I remember early on, after the PRC course, then we were all very enthused. There's 2 or 3 of us, Anaya Deshpande and myself and Candy Simpson, an American woman, she's still here. About 5 or 6 of us, we were so enthused. We said, oh my God, it'll be so wonderful. People should know what Swamiji means. What a wisdom is not possible. We're going to arrange for talks and we're going to do this and so on and so forth. I remember it was so embarrassing. So one time, Radha and myself, we all said, you know, we should arrange for some talks. And you know where we arranged it? It was in the Foothill College auditorium. Foothill College auditorium. And to enhance this, we also combined it with a concert by Lakshmi Shankar. And she stayed with me. Swamiji also stayed with me. We had just built our new home. And I was very proud. It's a bigger home and now it has lots of bedrooms and so on. So Swamiji also stayed for 4 nights with me. And Lakshmi Shankar also stayed with me. Very pleasant. But here's the embarrassing thing. We had one talk scheduled in the Foothill College auditorium, which is the one, we recently went there. What's the capacity? 1,000 or something, isn't it? There were 150 people. And we did everything. So I was feeling so bad. And Swamiji put his hands around me. He says, I'm very used to this. Don't worry about it. Nobody comes to Vedanta lectures. If you have some music concert, you cannot get ticket for it. But so he says, it's okay. It's okay. That made me feel a little bit better. But, so this is exactly what happens. So anyway, number 29 said that people hold on to things because it makes them feel better. And there we studied a little bit more detail last week. If you look at the common denominator in people feeling good about following certain things, the common denominator is called Shraddha. So Shraddha means that there is a sense in me which says, this looks good to me, and I am going to pursue it even though I don't know this 100%. It's exactly what it is. And I've given you this example that if someone wants to be an advanced theoretical physicist, and you are studying in the high school. So this is interesting. Everybody has a different idea. Somebody wants to be a musician, somebody wants to be a physicist, somebody wants to be a chemist, a doctor. Everybody has their own idea. So this person says, I understand the atomic theory and so on. So now you say, do you understand it? He says, no, I don't understand it, but I will. This is called Shraddha. It's called Shraddha. So Shraddha is the basis of all these things that we talked about. So then, Vedanta says, good, go step by step. Shraddha is important in all of these. You have to now see who is responsible for Shraddha. Where does Shraddha reside? Yeah, it's fine that you are doing all this because of Shraddha. But go a step more. Don't stop there. If you stop there, that's okay. You can gain the results of whatever you are following. But right now, think about what is the nature of Shraddha. Well, the Shraddha is a particular way of looking at things, some thoughts that are very nice. You know, Shraddha is a very important thing because somebody says, why are you believing it? There is nothing in it. He says, no, stop it. I know this is good and I'm going to follow it. So this is a nice way of looking at things, nice combination of thoughts. But go beyond that. Where is the Shraddha come from? Investigate it. The Shraddha comes from the Atma. My dear, it comes from the Atma. Shraddha is also a karya. It is also an effect. What is the karana? Why don't you go there a little bit more and investigate the nature of the karana? And so, then, number 30, which we will do from next time on, says this is the analysis of where Shraddha comes from. What is the nature of Karana Karya? Who is behind the Shraddha? Why is the Shraddha in? Shraddha also is an Anatma. What is the Atma of the Anatma? Is Anatma different from Atma or is it related to it? All of that analysis has to be done. And you need to have a Shraddha in that analysis. So it is very much like someone saying, let me show you the basis of your uncertainty. Let me throw some light on the basis of your uncertainty by showing you that this is nothing but a rope. And then all of a sudden, all of your projections disappears. Oh my God. So had that process, how was this done? It was done by a kind person who showed the right amount of light at the place. This is what happens. Until then, you are at the mercy of all kinds of things that are happening to you. So that process will now be followed. But I think you can see the Gaudapadaji's trend of including the way we lead our life and how it happens and what can be done to make sure that we are on the right track. Shraddha, it is important there also. How is that Shraddha important? Because somebody says, I'll tell you this, you are wrong about this, that this is a snake or anything, let me show it to you. But supposing you say, I don't believe that. I don't think you have the right thing in your heart, and you cannot show it to me anyway. I'm not going to go near that because that's a very dangerous snake. He says, trust me, I'm telling you, can you just come with me? So you need to have Shraddha even to investigate. But if you do, then wondrous things happen. So that process will be now given in the verses number 30 onwards that we will take from next time. Om Swasti Prajabhyav Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobhamane Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Savantu Kale Varshatu Marjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Shobharahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhaya Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukhabhag Bhaved Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityo Ma Mritangamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, sure.
In a lighter vein.
Okay.
You said that Vedanta stand alone.
Yeah.
I used to have a lot of friends. Now I'm losing them. Nobody invites me. They all unnecessarily give me praise. Oh, bahut pada hai, oh mandir jata hai. Which I am not. I don't know whether they are going away from me or am I going away from them. It's sometimes it's I might be alone. So is it?
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, we have to go out of this life alone. You better be used to going alone by yourself. People are not going to go with you. You came alone or you're going to go alone. You don't need the company. This is just temporary anyway.
Oh, that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's very interesting how this whole thing come about is that You know, even the children that are born from us, we don't realize what a history they must have had and what a future they will have. It's a very small thing, just for just a few years, and they all go in different directions. Leave aside the friends and other things, but even your own family and so on. It's just amazing. Swami Dayanand used to say that it's very much like you're traveling on a train and all of a sudden the train stops at a station and a couple of people come in and they just sit next to you and then you say, where are you going? And then they start sharing food and laughter and so on. And then just a few hours later, in the middle of the night, you open your eyes and they're gone. Completely gone. How they came in and where they went. And so the children are also exactly the same. We should see that. Where they were before they were born to you, you have no idea. They're like an iceberg. They have a huge body underneath the water. What is shown is just a small baby. And then they are with you for 20, 30, 40 years. And then either you go or they go or something happens and then it's repeated all over again. So yeah, we're going to go alone. You're very fortunate. You're getting you won't get a shock. You'll say, oh yeah.
I'm trying my best to get them back.
You can gain some Vedantic friends, you know.
I know. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Start inviting us. Let's make a friendship and make a party out of it.
Satsangaha.
That's
Yes.
yes.
But it's a fact. You're right. It's
True, it does happen.
it's a lonely, very lonely. I mean, for me also. It's not just for everybody else. I mean, when I go for get-togethers or so on, it's a huge problem for me because I don't really. People have a certain interest in topics, and the most important topic at my is where did you go for your last vacation? I went to Egypt, I went this, that or the other. Where did you go? And you have to, what can you do? And then of course IPOs and making money and this, that or the other. So I'm there because of social things and so on, and no one asks about there's no reason to ask about it, and I don't volunteer, so it's a complete disconnect. It's just amazing. We actually, a year ago, it was interesting, we went for is that people are kind of shy and almost afraid in some way to bring it up. We were on a trip together with two other couples for 1 week. This is like a year and a half ago. And it is so interesting. When I came back, and I haven't shared this even with my wife because, I found that we were together with this couple for like 12 hours a day for 7 days. Not once did they ask about the teaching or anything. I was continuously just trying to find out about their lives and so on. But they would never even, so I came back and I said, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
Highly interesting. They were just sort of like shy of because it's uncharted waters and so on and so forth. So yeah, those kinds of feelings and so on are very common.
Yeah.
I go through the same thing.
Even today somebody asked me, at this age you are going for a class?
This age? This age.
What they were saying is you are still too young. Why are you going to class? You still have quite a few years when you are just completely bedridden. Then you should study the Gita.
Yeah, I like the word dhira that comes up in
Yeah.
this Vedantic context, and to me that resonates so well with the state that we are in now, that we need to have that inner confidence that allows us to grow from within and stay focused and have that inquiry. And that strength is so powerful.
The word dhira actually has two meanings. Both of them are very good. One is the courage.
Yeah.
The other one is incisiveness. The one who has viveka, and discrimination is also called dhira. All right, we will see you next week.